There's a few signs when I go into an office, when I go in and evaluate an office, okay, to see how to improve it, increase the productivity, efficiency, all that stuff, okay? There's a few telltale signs. There's actually a lot, but there's a few questions I'll ask that'll tell me a whole lot about that practice. One of them is, do you have a marketing calendar? That's one of the questions I'll ask. So many times doctors don't even have a calendar, or in their mind, they think they have something that equates to a marketing calendar. Like, yeah, well, we do this, every now and then. Like, no, that's not a marketing calendar. That's not a system, and that's not a marketing calendar. Okay, but that's a real common response that I get. In other words, most doctors don't even have a marketing calendar. Well, that tells you right there, you're not planning for your new patients. So why should you expect many? Well, you're not. You have to plan for them, you have to train for them, and do them to get them. That's the bottom line. But that's like a big one, marketing calendar. There's a couple other ones, like, do you do staff meetings? That's a huge one. Doctors don't do staff meetings, they don't get anywhere. You gotta plan and train to get somewhere, in life, besides just mediocrity. So that marketing calendar, we look at remember, we want to do it not only to determine what do we need to do next, and everybody's trained on it. So whatever the marketing is, for that month, everybody's trained to know exactly what their role is, because there's different roles. I'll give you an example. One of the marketing systems is the referral. Well, that's in the marketing calendar. Where's it at? It's not in the calendar on a day. It's in the marketing calendar as event, and it's everybody in the office has been trained. It's on the day after the re-exam, when we do the re-exam, and then the next visit is the re-report. They know it's on the re-report day after the doctor's re-report. Everybody knows that. My office knows that. They know on that visit, that patient's going to get a re-report. They're going to get the treatment schedule is going to be modified accordingly. The therapeutics are going to be modified accordingly. Everybody knows this. And they know that patient's going to be asked for a referral. So we expect to go through that referral. So as an example, in my office, there's a front desk and a therapist, and the therapist was always the person that is the main marketing assistant person, because they spend the most time with the patients, so they have the most potential. But when that patient comes in on that visit, that front desk person knew to say, "Oh, Mary, by the way, doctor's going to take an extra 5-10 minutes today, and he's going to go over the results of your re-exam." See, the front desk knew to do that because it was documented. First of all, it was trained in for the system, and then it was documented. She knew it was that patient's re-report. Well, she knew what to say on the re-report. She knew to say that. So they go back. I go, "Oh, Mary, let's go ahead and let's go over your re-report. Tell you what, let me treat you first, and then let's go over the results of your examination, okay?" Now, the staff member who's responsible for the referral, now I had to do it. When your practice is slower, you need to be doing it. And then when it gets real busy, as it gets busier, I have my therapist, who's my marketing assistant, do it, because I'm going to the next room. I'm busy. I'm busy because I have a marketing calendar, and I'm actually applying marketing systems. Okay. So I finished with the re-report, and I told the patient, what, if they're doing better, worse, staying the same, where are they at relative to the 3 phases of healing, etc. What therapies we were going to change and why, what frequency of treatments we were going to change and why. Okay. So now they know where they're at. And then in the SOAP notes, I'd put whatever change. If I'm going to change the diagnosis and the treatment plan, that's the only time you change them, is when you do your exams and re-exams. That's it. And then I'm done clinically with the patient. And then I said, "Tell you what, Mary." And then I would use the conviction statement that sets the stage And by the way, the conviction statement lets your whole office know why you're here. Why are you here every day? It's not for a check. You won't keep employees very long if it's always about the check. It's got to be for a higher motive. That's the conviction statement. And then we had a real simple conviction statement saying, by the way, Mary, the purpose of our offices here is to help not only our patients get out of pain and live a highly functional life, but also our patients' family members and friends. That's the purpose of us being here. So if you don't mind, let me have you hold tight just a second. And I'm going to have Cindy come in and she's going to talk with you to see if we can help any of your family members. That was my conviction statement. I set the stage to let her know what was going to happen. We're going to ask for a referral. That's what I just told her. I just told that patient, we're going to come in and ask for a referral. Indirectly, that's what I just said. Now, Cindy's been trained. We did a lot of, the marketing assistant has been well trained. They're in a state of unconscious competence with the material. She's a black belt. She comes in and she walks right through the material. She knows exactly what to say, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. She knows exactly how to get a referral, period, because she's been trained in it. And she knows how to book them. And she knows how to follow up with them. And that's a system. So that's part of the marketing calendar, but it wasn't in a particular date because that can vary depending on the patient's re-exam. But that's like in stone. The re-report referral was part of the marketing calendar. It was in stone. Okay. So you have to have your marketing calendar.